Scottie Pippen told us about Phil Jackson. He told us. Now, Scottie said a whole lot of other stuff to go with it. But I told y'all back then what he said about Phil Jackson when he called him a racist. That might not have been far-fetched. And based on these latest comments from Phil, Scottie got evidence to back up his claims. Now, he kind of bagged off of those claims, but he might want to double down. So we got to talk about it. Before we do, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Cost you nothing to hit that button, you understand? I am your homeboy first. This is the realest, most entertaining sports show in the game, bar none. Put it on something. You understand? Again, hit that subscribe button, put all your people on it. You understand? But let's get straight to it, okay? Because I feel some type of way about this because this is the team of my youth, okay? This is the team of my youth, the Chicago Bulls, because of Michael Jordan. Then Phil went over there and coached the Los Angeles Lakers. I went to the Lakers with him. He implemented the triangle over there. Kobe Bean Bryant is, I like to call him Diet Mike, not as a slight, but as a compliment because he's the closest thing game-wise and mentality-wise that I've seen to Michael Jordan. So I went over there with Phil. So for a lot of my time as a basketball fan, Phil Jackson was the head coach of the teams I fuck with. So these latest comments from Phil Jackson rubbed me the wrong way based on the fact that he coached these teams that I loved, and based on the fact that I am a person who is so tied to the Black liberation movement that this shit sure enough make me feel some type of way. If you missed it, there's a viral quote from Phil Jackson. Okay. All right, now I'm reading this from Legion Hoops on Twitter, okay? And it says, Phil Jackson says he hasn't watched the NBA since the bubble. And here's the quote from Phil. They even had slogans on the floor and baseline. It was trying to bring in a certain audience to the game, and they didn't know it was turning other people off. People want to see sports as non-political. If y'all go back to 2020, we think about the pandemic, but people have forgotten how we felt with that viral video of George Floyd being lynched. And see, people like Phil Jackson, he probably watched that and didn't feel no type of way about that. Because he ain't never in his life ever had to think that was going to happen to him. He had to think that. Even though this motherfucker Phil Jackson was a damn hippie. Phil Jackson was a fucking drug-taking, long hair, don't care hippie. But he was in the league. So he ain't had to worry about getting shot down like them Kent State students. You feel me? You know what I'm talking about? He ain't had to face those shit like that. He was in the league. He's on them New York Knicks championship teams from the 70s. You know what I'm saying? So this motherfucker gets to see what happened to George Floyd and then these guys' reaction to it and think something was wrong with it. And I thought something was wrong with it too. You know what I thought was wrong with it? Those motherfuckers shouldn't have been in no bubble playing. They shouldn't have been playing. They should have shut that shit down and made those owners who are hella powerful, who are well connected with Congress and with the White House, and we could have got a George Floyd anti-lynching bill or police reform bill, whatever the fucking bill we wanted to get. If the 30 owners of the NBA would have made it happen, it would have happened. If you're down with me for real, you know I've been saying that. I highlighted it on Twitter, possibly Instagram as well. I can't remember, but I know on Twitter I went and found all the information about every owner and the top players from every team in terms of the scores and shit like that. I added their motherfucking ass. They were on that bitch and told them not to play. They took their ass down there. So if they took their ass down, the least thing they could do to try to raise some awareness by putting shit on the floor. Oh, Phil Jackson said something wrong with that. Fuck that shit, Phil. Fuck wrong with you. See, Phil has this false sense of superiority because he was so blessed to coach Michael Jeffrey Jordan, Kobe Bean Bryant, and Shaquille O'Neal. And I keep telling y'all that. I keep telling y'all that. I was telling y'all that before this man said this kind of fuck shit. That the man is not the GOAT coach. He's not. He's blessed. Come in here with that Zen shit. You watch real interviews with these folks, them folks tell you they wasn't paying no attention to that shit. These books he handing out and shit, they wasn't paying attention to none of that shit. You look at what he did with the Bulls. You say, well, Michael Jordan didn't win without him. Michael Jordan was already fucking amazing without him. Michael Jordan had already been scoring champ, an MVP, a defensive player of the year, all that shit. All that shit. He just needed somebody to run with him. And Scottie Pippen was young. Horace Grant was young. Hell, they were showing success under Doug Collins. They were. But Jerry Krause, motherfucking ass, fell out with Doug Collins and wanted them gone. And Jerry Krause wanted that goddamn triangle offense implemented so much. He loved Tex Winter. Doug Collins wouldn't implement it because he felt like that shit was taking the ball out of his best player hand, Michael Jordan. Okay. So he got rid of it. But they had already been having success. Okay. They just needed Scottie to come on. That's all they needed. That's all they needed. Needed Scottie to come on, needed Horace to come on. Hell, they had just gotten the league in the 87-88 season. They would have won a championship under Doug Collins. They probably would have had the same goddamn success under Doug Collins. Then you look at what he did with the Lakers. Folks say, oh, he got Kobe and Shaq to get along. Kobe was young. Kobe just needed time to grow up. Kobe grew up, made the age again. He came into the league as a 17, 18-year-old when it was still a man's league. It wasn't like today where it's so fucking young. Okay. But you give Kobe some time to grow, sure, whoever would have been the coach by the goddamn one with that team. With Kobe Bryant, self-motivated ass, and Shaq, who was nice since Orlando. But Phil Jackson think, oh, this Zen shit. Man, what the fuck you talking about? How the fuck you on some Zen shit and don't recognize that the bare minimum that those players could do at that time was put that shit on that floor? Fuck whose feelings were involved. Fuck if it turned off anybody. The only people it turned off were racists. That's what it turned off. Fucking racist. Yo, Black Lives Matter. Think about that. Not black lives are better. Not black is better. Not even black is beautiful. Just Black Lives Matter. We fucking matter. Is offensive. Then you're a fucking racist. What the fuck? What the fuck? So this son bitch, we only know his name because of three black men. That's the only reason we know his fucking name. That's it. When those Knicks come up from the 70s, don't bring them no fucking Phil Jackson. They bring up Walt Frazier. They bring up Earl Pearl Monroe. They bring up the king that just passed away. Oh God, Willis Reed. They bring up Willis Reed. Don't bring no goddamn Phil Jackson. From a coaching standpoint, we would have known this motherfucking name. He was an assistant on Doug Collins' staff. Shit. And before that, he coaching well in Puerto Rico somewhere. We wouldn't have known his name if he was not attached to Michael Jeffrey Jordan, Kobe Bean Bryant, and Shaquille O'Neal. And he want to sit up here. and say some shit like this when black men made him. Oh, it's Scotty and triangle and shit. When that triangle broke down, he gave that ball to goddamn Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. Late shot clock. Look at all them notable plays y'all think about. Them plays ain't come down no damn triangle. Them plays came down to GOAT players doing GOAT shit. And they were black men. And he want to sit up here on some fuck shit like this. But this ain't the first time. You know, he got the LeBron posse comments. You know, he got that. Okay. You know, in the past, he's criticized rap music, which you can look at that as just okay, or old head. It's some old black folks that don't like don't like rap music, excuse me. But now, you see what you get is a pattern. You start putting everything together. And that's why I said what Scotty first said, what he said, it ain't far-fetched that an old white man might be racist now. Can't just write that out. Now, some of the other shit Scotty was saying, you can tell that Scotty pissed off about the last dance. Scotty also been dealt with tragedy within his family. We know his ex-wife on some more shit. But when it came to his comments about Phil, that shit wasn't far-fetched. He's an old white dude. Used to be the norm to be racist. And you might say, well, he's a hippie. You ever heard of something called a progressive movement? I can go even before the hippie movement of the 60s and 70s. The progressive movement of the early 1900s, where you got all these people, these liberal ideas and free thinking and stuff like that. But that shit applied to white people for them. They still were anti-black. Phil is starting to show himself as that. He might be liberal when it comes to some shit. Him smoking weed and studying Native American culture and all that kind of shit. But when it comes to us, he's showing his hand. So I haven't been told you that ain't the motherfucking GOAT. I give that motherfucking credit for being blessed. He was blessed. And he ain't teach Michael Jordan how to pass. Miss me with that. Michael Jordan's highest assist year happened under Doug Collins. Look it up. Stop the bullshit. Stop it. Fuck are we talking about? He didn't implement a great defensive strategy to make the Bulls the best defensive team. They were a great defensive team under Doug Collins. Look it up. Go watch the games. I've watched them. Stop it. He's exposing himself. And it's a damn shame that somebody who so many people revere like this is showing his ass when 3 black men made him. So black lives should matter to you, sir. Put it on some.
Thank you so much for watching my daddy's YouTube channel. Make sure you like, share, and turn on your post notifications. Okay, how do I do it?